Hello, welcome to the section Handling Events. We begin this section by performing tasks on page load. Moving ahead, we'll handle events, learn about event propagation, altering journey of the event object. Next, we'll be removing the event handler, and finally, we'll simulate user interaction. Now we move on to the first video of this section, performing tasks on page load. In this video, we're going to first handle multiple scripts on one page, then pass an argument to document. We've already seen how to make jQuery react to the loading of a web page. In section 1, Getting Started, we noted that $function was jQuery's primary way to perform tasks on page load. It's not, however, the only method at our disposal. The native window.onload event can do the same thing. While the two methods are similar, it's important to recognize their differences in timing, even though it can be quite subtle depending on the number of resources being loaded. The window.onload event fires when a document is completely downloaded to the web browser. On the other hand, a handler registered using $function is invoked when the DOM is completely ready for use. Consider, for example, a page that presents an image gallery. Such a page may have many large images on it, which we can hide, show, move, and otherwise manipulate with jQuery. If we set up our interface using the onload event, users will have to wait until each and every image is completely downloaded before they can use those features. However, when we use $function for the setup, the interface is ready to be used earlier with the correct behavior. The traditional mechanism for registering event handlers through JavaScript is to assign a function to the DOM element's corresponding property. For example, suppose we had defined the function shown here. We could then either assign it within our HTML markup, or we could assign it from within the JavaScript code. Both of these approaches will cause the function to execute when the page is loaded. The advantage of the second is that the behavior is cleanly separated from the markup. With one function, this strategy works quite well. However, suppose we have a second function as this. We could then attempt to assign this function to run on page load using this line of code. However, this assignment trumps the first one. The onload attribute can only store one function reference at a time. We can't add it to the existing behavior. In some cases, it may prove useful to use more than one JavaScript library on the same page. Since many libraries make use of the $identifier, we need a way to prevent collisions between libraries. Fortunately, jQuery provides a method called jQuery.noConflict to return control of the $identifier back to other libraries. Typical usage of jQuery.noConflict follows the pattern shown here. First, the other library, prototype.js in this example, is included. Then jQuery.js itself is included, taking over $, for its own use. Next, a call to noConflict frees up $, so that control of it reverts to the first included library, prototype.js. Now in our custom script, we can use both libraries. But whenever we want to use a jQuery method, we need to write jQuery instead of $, as an identifier. That's all for now.